And yeah, after the dual of hard disk drive, now it's time for a dual with SSD HDD. Let's go. Hey everyone, Anthony here, welcome to another video. Yeah, after the duel with double HDD, a newer one and a old one, SSD versus HDD. Now you might think that it's a stupid versus because SSD will probably win in most of cases compared to HDD. Yes, for sure, but this is something a bit different. My neighbor is making noise. So today we have, as you see, maybe not perfectly, an old Dell Optiplex 330. This is a older version. This is something it from a cave of my grandfather, which it was not used for years now. Still Windows XP on it, not connected to internet for far away. Already some part upgraded because I have planned to do with it. But just before and just for you, I want to make this little test with HDD SSD on it. On a older machine, does it make the difference like the newer machine? That's the first part. Second thing, it still have on the main drive Windows XP. It's almost empty, I don't have the password to connect, but it doesn't matter. I just want to check the time boot. Okay? And on the SSD, I will install it Windows 10. So a older version with a newer version of Windows, the difference between the two. And see how good is the SSD for older machine like this, and is it extremely necessary? Does it make something better than the drive? Lots of things like that. That's why I make this versus. Let's have a look. So the hard disk drive is in there, SSD will be for after. I can adjust the keyboard, it's fine, I don't need any more. The screen is there. And we will check the time boot. I take my chrono up, and believe me, when I push start, it will be fine. And here we go. We'll keep you that near. Stop. Okay, stop. Okay, I pushed the wrong button, but it's fine. 22 seconds 22. This is the time when I push stop and have to make careful. Just to arrive to the login screen. I will do the same with Windows 10, not to the desktop. Of course, you won't see the username, there's a reason of that. Well, keep that in mind. Windows XP, older system, as I said, this one is nearly empty. My grandfather doesn't use lots of things, and even to internet it was really rare, so it's fine. We get a look with the SSD now. Okay, let's shut down this. As you will see, it might not take a long time. Already done. Time for SSD and to check. So the SSD is in place. I remove the hard disk drive. All SSD are great, especially on older machine compared to hard disk drive, and all Windows 10 work on a older machine also, which could be a difference on SSD compared to Windows XP on hard disk drive. There is a difference. It's also a comparison between two versions of Windows to see how bigger Windows is and how many times you need to make before having a boot. For sure, just before starting, SSD Windows XP will be extremely fast, but I do not recommend that. First, because Windows XP is that first. Secondary, trim is not supported on Windows XP. It's a functionality for SSD to avoid to write always in the same cells. So it uses less faster the SSD. Trim is a good thing. Windows 10, no problem, it supports that. With all that said, let's go! Okay, stop. 24 seconds. Okay. To the lock screen, as always, like a Windows XP. 2 second difference between three versions of Windows Vista 7, 8. Between Windows XP, okay, Vista 7, 8, 10. 4 versions later, we'll say like this, it's easier. Only 2 second difference on a older machine. If you want to ask for the spec of the Optiplex, a part has already been modified. You will have that on the description to know what is the machine.
To conclude, hard disk drive versus SSD. It's for sure a clear win for the SSD. But a fun fact, and somewhere something impressive to say, a Windows 10 compared to a Windows XP boot with these two different drives with more or less the same time boot. Windows 10 compared to Windows XP has clearly new feature and with more technology, more service to start, so it's clearly lots of other things to load that Windows XP doesn't have. And giving the same boot time of that, even if Windows 10 is probably well more optimized than Windows XP, it's clearly impressive. And the impact is for every operating system, Windows, Linux, macOS, and eventually we can imagine mobile OS. That's impressive. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to hit the like button, to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and for sure, I will catch you on the next one. Goodbye, everyone.